Hello guys, welcome to another video. Remember on Sunday I gave you a video on this Nasdaq and the price was still around there, and I told you that this is a very good area for you to look for some selling trades. So if you managed to get to catch that one, kudos to you. And you can see that it did exactly what we had predicted. So basically this is what I do on this channel. I just give you some analysis. I give you some ideas or some trade setups. I don't want to call them signals because I don't like that. So I just give you some go through a chart, top down analysis, and then I make a conclusion from that, so that even when you try to do this on your own, at least you know the steps what to follow and you'll have some idea. So we're going to have a follow-up session on this one, right? And you know that we cannot just look at H4 and start from there. We always start with the highest time frame. So we're not going to waste a lot of time because most of these time frames, they still look the same as like what we had in the previous lesson, right, or the previous video. So if you haven't watched that one, make sure that you watch it, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So we had said that this time frame is bearish, and you've got a bearish trend line and you've got the area of resistance there, and this one has been taken out. And we did say that on a longer run, this one has got a higher chances of what, of coming all the way down to this one, for as long as it does not challenge this bearish trend line and also that resistance, because those are the key structures of this downtrend. So for as long as they're still being respected, the price has got higher chance of going to the downside. And now that, even when I was giving you that what do you call this, that setup where I said this has got higher chance of dropping, you can see that even here on monthly, the price was touching that very sensitive structure, which is what, the bearish trend line, and this time frame is bearish. So you see that when you're looking to sell, it was not a bad idea. So right now, if you are someone that is planning to invest in take a sort of an investment or a long-term trade, it's not a good idea for you to look for a buy and trade and think that you can hold it until sometime next year, because when you look at these structures here on the bigger time frames, they do not agree with any of that, right? So we are saying this is still bearish, and we've got a high chance of coming to the support for as long as you don't challenge the trend line or the resistance. That's all that you have on your monthly. So let's see if the structure on weekly has changed. So on weekly, we had said that we have a trend line. We are probably approaching it, if not around it, which is this one here. And we have this as our nearest zone. The same thing that we did on monthly, which is what? Resistance here. So your weekly is also bearish. We've got the bearish trend line and the resistance. Both of them are still holding. We just had a pullback towards that resistance, and we know that around there we are testing that monthly trend line also, so which is why we've got a chance of pushing to the downside. So now on this one, I would say that it's a very crucial week, because this candlestick that is currently open is the one that's gonna give you a lot of information when it closes. So on Friday, when this candlestick closes, it will depend on how it closes. Then based on what we're saying, it can confirm that we have got a lot of pressure to the downside, or the bulls are still there. So if it closes as like something like this, where you have this, what you call bearish, I'm sure you know these terms, bearish engulfing. So when you've got the bearish engulfing, that's a very strong reversal pattern. So if the price closes with that candlestick engulfing the previous ones, it could suggest that there's still some room to drop some more. So we'll see when that week ends. So for now, this time frame is also saying you're at a resistance. The trend line is here. You are just having a room to drop to the downside, which is not far, or it's the same as what we saw on what you saw on your, what do you call this, on monthly. So now this is our daily chart. Our daily chart, this is where things start to open up a bit. We did have this one at some point for a very long time. The trend line was there, taken out. We tried to have a new one taken out, and then now the price came around the very same structure that changed to bullish, even though we were no longer bullish, but it failed to give us a new low, and then it took off, continued with the uptrend. And currently we can say in terms of a trend line, because we cannot put it, we can put it here. Basically, we can put it somewhere there. You can have this as your bullish trend line, and we did have a very extended pullback, which is this one, until there, and then we took off again. And the most important thing that you need to take with this one is that, let's bring this and just check it. I think we did go higher than it. If you still remember, we had this high. Now we went higher than it, which means when we did that, it means that you can even put it somewhere there and say that's your trend line. And now the price is coming back to it. That being your trend line and this being your support, is a very nice looking support. But with some confirmation, I really do think you can get trades there. As long as you know that those trades are not long-term trades, because long-term time frames are not agreeing with that. So you can get some trades there and say that the daily trend line not yet broken, and also you are having a nice support, which is the one that pushed higher than that. And so basically on your smaller time frame, you can expect some pullback there if you get some confirmation. It's not something that you can just go in without confirmation, because the time frames are not agreeing with that. So the bigger ones. So now if you get some confirmation there, I do give you that go ahead to say you can try and do what, and pull the trigger there. And again, that support did something. If you still remember, I just showed you something now and say we had a pullback, and during that pullback, this one, you could put a bearish trend line there. So the movement from this bearish trend line, I mean this zone here, is the one that went up and broke that bearish trend line. So now the price is testing that support that did all of that. So you can see that it does have some weight, so it can actually just reverse the price like that. But without confirmation, you don't have a trade. This can also do something like that, because remember what we said, the bigger guys can just do something like that. But it doesn't mean that just because monthly is doing this, then we can't have smaller trends in between. You can have smaller trends in between, for as long as you know that they are smaller trends. They are not long-term trends. So it's not something that you're gonna hold for weeks and weeks, because now once you do that, you are basically sort of going against what you saw on the bigger guys. If the bigger guys are saying this, they basically mean that if you are planning something for long term, it better be in accordance to what we are saying here. If you try something else for long term, you are less likely not gonna succeed. So here on smaller time frames, I'm saying from where you are, it's a very nice zone. You can get some confirmation and hope that it will go up, even if it doesn't go all the way up, but it can give you a pullback there. So you just look out for any type of confirmation you can get from that. So let's do H4 quickly. I don't want long videos anymore. So now this is our H4, and the trend line on H4 still looks the same. It's there, and we do have this. Right, you do have that, and you do have this as your nearest resistance. This is the resistance that pushed down and broke the thing. So you can put it there, or if you feel like you have a trend line there, which is what we had the other time, we put it there because we had said what? The price actually did move to the downside, and then it went up, allowing us to put a trend line there. That's when it was broken, and the price actually broke the support, and then we said now we're having a pullback, which is why we managed to get that's why I gave you those the go ahead and say search for trades there. There's actually a very nice area for you to look for selling trades. And when you're searching for selling trades, the price wait 10 before coming to trigger you, you need to make sure that you exit some of your trades there. And you can see that in this case, we actually did struggle to pass, but eventually went up to the maximum take profit. So you see, this is what I share. This is what I teach. I do not want to complicate anything. I always make sure that when I explain, it's very easy for you to follow. And you know, even if you're trying to do this on your own, you must be able to do that. So remember what I said when we were on daily just now. I'd said that if you get some reason to buy, you can do that. Now look what is happening on H4. Even on H4, we are at a very not the nicest looking area of support, but it also did something, because we did have a trend line there, and it managed to break that with some strong take off, and now the price is back. So you get that confirmation inside here, you are going to pull the trigger, and this is where you are out. That's why we are saying it's a short-term trade. You are planning a smash and grab. You get confirmation there, you are targeting this, your eyes are here. Because the moment you start to do this, you are now projecting something onto the bigger time frames, and they are not going to agree with that because they never said anything bullish. You see, so you are looking for confirmation inside here. You are targeting that. So that's what you can do. That's what I can say. We can have our eyes on. You can have this trend line somewhere there, but this is where you're going to exit, max take profit there. So let's do one more, which is H1, just to have a look and see how this thing looks on smaller time frame. Now this is our H1, right? And we still have the more or less the same structure that we saw on H4. We're still at the support that had a very nice move the last time the price was here, and you have got this. And then, so if you are using H1 as an area where you are pulling the trigger, you'll be pulling somewhere there, then you are targeting the trend line because it's the one that's going to be hit before that guy. So remember, without confirmation, you don't have trades. So, but for now, I hope you can see that some of this information that I'm giving you, if you follow it correctly, you can actually catch some nice moves. You know, it's not always the case that the price will respect what I'm saying here, but you need to have a strategy to say that this is how I want to do things, and I'll always do it like this. Whether some of the trades I lose, then some I win, as long as I'm respecting the risk management, I should be on the right side. I should be safe, right? So for now, I'm saying confirmation there. Let's try and target that and see if we won't reach there. All right, guys, that's all that I wanted to share with you. If you managed to catch that one, good for you. So now this is all that I had, guys, and then now I'll see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also you can share this channel to your friends, your family members, those that are interested in learning how to trade the simplest way, because some of you go the longest route or you go the difficult one. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Alrighty.